There is no such thing as a slut. There is no such thing as a bitch. There is no such thing as someone who's bossy. There's just a boss.
Oh, you know, like she just writes songs about her ex-boyfriends, and I think, frankly, that's a very sexist angle to take. No one says that about Ed Sheeran. No one says it about Bruno Mars. They're all writing songs about their exes, their current girlfriends, their love life, and no one raises a red flag there.
It's a lot to process because we do exist in this society where women in entertainment are discarded in an elephant graveyard by the time they're 35. The female artists that I know of have reinvented themselves 20 times more than the male artists. They have to, or else you're out of a job. Constantly having to reinvent, constantly finding new facets of yourself that people find to be shiny.
If a guy shares his experience in writing, he's brave. If a woman shares her experience in writing, she's oversharing, and she's over-emotional, or she might be crazy, or watch out, she'll write a song about you. That joke is so old, and it's coming from a place of such sexism.
Be new to us, be young to us, but only in a new way and only the way we want, and reinvent yourself, but only in a way that we find to be equally comforting, but also a challenge for you. Live out a narrative that we find to be interesting enough to entertain us, but not so crazy that it makes us uncomfortable. Everyone's a shiny new toy for like 2 years. I'm trying to be as educated as possible on how to respect people, on how to deprogram the misogyny in my own brain. Toss it out, reject it, and resist it. We don't want to be condemned for being multifaceted. Sorry, that was a real soapbox.
No, oh
why
my
did
God,
I say sorry?
Because we're trained to say sorry.
Yeah, we
since were
legitimately
born.
are. We're like, sorry, was I loud in my own house that I bought with the songs that I wrote about my own life?
I get that question all the time, the question that's like, well, why don't you dress like, and then they name a few girls in the industry, and they're like, why, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't be asking Bruno Mars why he doesn't take his clothes off.
that wouldn't happen.
You wouldn't be, because he's known for being a musician.
Yeah.
And I'm known for being a musician too. It's just a choice you make. It's what you wear, what you want to wear. And I saw that as a female in this industry, some people will always have slight reservations about you. Whether you deserve to be there, whether your male producer or co-writer is the reason for your success, or whether it was a savvy record label. This is just what happens to a woman in music if she achieves success or power beyond people's comfort level. I decided I would be what they said I couldn't be. I didn't know then that soon enough people would decide on something else I wasn't quite doing right, and then the circle would keep going on and rolling along, and I would keep accommodating, overcorrecting in an effort to appease my critics. Now I'm actually a calculated manipulator rather than a smart businesswoman. Okay, I'll disappear from public view for years. The last 10 years, I have watched as women in this industry are criticized and measured up to each other and picked at for their bodies, their romantic lives, their fashion. Or have you ever heard someone say about a male artist, I really like his songs, but I don't know what it is. There's just something about him I don't like. No, that criticism is reserved for us. But you know, I've learned that the difference between those who can continue to create in that climate usually comes down to this: who lets that scrutiny break them and who just keeps making art. We shouldn't let obstacles like criticism slow down the creative forces that drive us.